Which point of Gyan inspired you when you first took the Raj Yoga course?
Yes, I remember the first point of this Raj Yoga was the aspect of the cycle and how at this moment now is repeating exactly 5,000 years ago as it is right now. And this was so inspiring at the time that I thought it was just opened up this whole aspect of thinking that I'd been here before and this whole play was eternal. So a very wonderful experience.
What is your present Purusharat?
My present effort is to be as much present as I possibly can in the sense of making the most of each moment and really having that attention that while doing that, I really feel that after that practice that it almost gives a check of my thinking, where my thoughts are going either to the past or to the future. But in that sense of really practicing to be present, I feel the first lesson is very stable within that practice because it's like when I'm accepting this moment as it is and everyone as they are and drama as it is, it's like it's almost like everything's included within that. And also the real experience of a lot of silence is experienced within that practice as well, being present, because when we're present, it means that it's like there's an awareness of everything around me, of the nature, of the elements in that, but also it's very much, there's a non-resistance to that as well, which means that there's this acceptance of the drama as it is and everyone as they are. So this has been my current practice.
What do you follow to create powerful vibration at your place of service?
Yeah, I follow a lot of silence. I love that aspect of silence because I feel within silence, it's almost like when there's very little thoughts in that state of silence and just being a state of being, that's automatically creating a powerful vibration because it's almost like it's a connection with soul world, because I feel, when the mind is really still and silent, it's like it's a connecting with our home, Paramdam. And of course, that vibration in itself will inspire others and people around us. And of course, I had a lot of experience of silence before I started playing this as well, started practicing Raj Yoga. But that's where I feel most powerful spaces within that space of silence.
How do you practice soul consciousness?
Yes, well, soul consciousness is like, as we know, it's the easiest and most difficult of all of Raj Yoga, because I feel the practice of soul conscious means a lot of things, because firstly, it is being aware that each soul is different and has a different part. So not everyone's going to be similar to myself. And when there's a multitude of different souls and sanskaras and so many varieties of that, I feel when I'm able to accept that as well, accept others as they are, and completely as they are, because as I've experienced, in the sense of how much does a visual image of someone change my thoughts or my attitude or vision as well, because it's like we have all different cultures, different countries, different colors, all a different spectrum of many souls playing many different roles. But can I accept, and do I look at someone really in that sense of a soul, of just a point of light and a completely different part to play, but not influenced by the color, country, and all these things, because that's something with the eyes. When we see someone, if I'm having thoughts of something in the past or this, maybe it's from religion, maybe it's from the culture or something that's influenced me in the past in a positive or negative way, can I still see that person as they are, as a spiritual being, and not influenced by that color, country, or religion or background? So for me, that's I feel many times, we straight away may have a judgment with others because of some background or some association with something we have a strong opinion with or influence from. And just to be completely open as Bubba would be open to love every soul and to accept everyone as they are. So this is quite a big lesson for soul consciousness.
Who or what inspired you to stay in Gyan Sarovar and do services over there?
When I first come to Baba, I was painting pictures of Shiv Baba, actually, in point of light. So I had an experience of Shiv Baba before I started this Gyan, like 1.5 years before, and I got so inspired by that I started painting that image of light. And every picture I painted, I put this image of light in it because that was a very powerful experience. And when I took this Gyan, of course, that even made a further impression because I thought, wow, I had the experience of this point of light before I started Raj Yoga. And so I used this method of airbrush spray painting, which I felt at the time was an instrument I could use to create a point with these radiating waves or rays of light, in a very smooth gradient sort of pattern, how I experienced Shiv Baba. So when I came to Madan the first time, I brought some of those images of the paintings, and then the artists there like that, and the daddies and seniors like that. So I used to stay 2 or 3 weeks longer each Madan season to do service in the art department in Pandar Bhavan. And of course that grew from that point where then I had the experience where I started painting Brahma Baba and Shiv Baba in the same picture. And that was something new at the time. And because no one had painted, or I hadn't seen anyone that put Brahma Baba and Shiv Baba in the same painting. And of course, then that whole part of painting Brahma Baba and Shiv Baba in the same painting become popular. And then slowly I would spend more, 2 or 3 months in Madan, then 7 months in foreign, and then slowly it was 6 months in Madan, 6 months in foreign. And then as the years went on, it was more time in Gyan Sarovar because it was much easier to paint these pictures then, and for students coming to Madan to take them back to their countries. So that's purely just logistics. And of course, Madan being Madan, very special, that was the right atmosphere and vibration to paint these as well. And so that's how I end up staying in Madan.
At present, what services are you doing?
So yeah, at present the service, even in Australia, when I first came to Madan after the first trip in 1985, I went back into Australia into a centre. I moved straight into a centre because those days in Australia, most of the centres were run by brothers. So when I came to Madan and with the painting role, then my background also is with carpentry. So I did carpentry work at present in Madan, because now over the years it's become more digital. So of course we do all these paintings and pictures, service pictures and course pictures in Photoshop and, in these programs. But also I love the aspect of cooking. So over the last probably 5 years, I've had the part of making a special traditional sourdough bread, which is a traditional way bread was made in the northern hemisphere countries, where it's using this khamir, which is like a Hindi word meaning fermentation. So it's using the natural yeast of the surrounding environment and making the bread in this way. So it's a very healthy style of bread. So I've done that role. I think this last season it was something like I was making that bread about just over 9 kilos of that every day for the whole season, last season. And then I do things like jam. The season now is anjir in Madan. So I just love cooking. So I ended up with that part of all the anjir or figs that were sort of left over, which had opened up. Instead of discarding them, then I would get batches of 16 to 18 kilos, and then I'd make this jam and bottle it, and that becomes available for guests and Nawasis for the next probably 6 months. Actually, it'll last about that 6 months. So, and then other things of music. Music was something which came to me from my experience of Baba, Shiv Baba in the forest before I took Gyan. And I had a very strong feeling and of how to use sound to create silence. That was the sort of the message. So I think probably up until now, I think I stopped counting of over about 60 instruments that were being gifted to me, or I become trustee of. And so I would be interested in that because I've always been interested in music, but how to to use that sound or that music to create a space where souls can experience silence through. And I really feel now that as I become more practiced with meditation and that the more I'm in silence myself while playing and really in that state beyond, then that music will also give the experience of that, because we're putting that silence power into practice or we could say karma yoga as well, where we're in that state. And of course, music being something which projects out because of the sound, of course, it's something that, everyone can experience as well. So I've had many different roles. I mean, that's been a real gift, Baba's gift, definitely Baba's gift, because I started these things after I experienced that image of light to use, especially with the painting and also the music and many different things. But of course, with the computer work and design, that was something that come up purely because there was such a huge demand of souls wanting Baba's pictures that it wasn't possible to do these by hand. So I had experience in a way where I wasn't interested in doing anything digitally, but just drama happened in a way where it pushed me into that area. And it was a very, very strong learning curve to use that medium because the demand was already there so much at that time. This was probably the late 90s where we started that type of work.
How long are you in Gyan?
How long? This is my 40th year in Gyan, actually. I took Gyan in 84, and not quite 40. It was, I think, 40 years this year, but it was in the month of August, September. And yes, I think I was 26 years old at that time.
Janki Dadi Ji.
Janki Dadi Ji, I remember sort of many experiences with her, but she would say, past is past. Past is past. Whatever happened, she would really put this emphasis on past is past. And I love that because I understand that more and more now, the importance of that.
Didi Nirmala.
Didi was interesting with me, especially with the creative things, music and art. She would, many times with music, where I get an invitation to play, she'd say, no, you're not, no need to go there. They can put on tape or CD. And I used to feel that Didi live music is different to tape music and there's a different feeling, but she was testing to see how detached I was from these things too. So that was her method.
Rapid fire questions. Janki Dadi Ji.
Past is past.
Didi Nirmala.
Detached and loving.
Which speciality of yours do you think inspired Baba to choose you as his special child?
I think simplicity,
Which relationship with Baba you love most?
friend and companion.
Which Dham of Pandav Bhavan do you like the most among the Char Dhams?
The Tower of Peace.
What comes to your mind when you hear the word Madhuban?
Home.